Thank you. Hello, my name is Jay Shen of the KNOX Business Group. Thank you very much for coming into our KNOX session. The keynote was very exciting out there. I was actually awed by all the innovations that we're making in the home front and the VR front. Actually, I'm more excited about the VR because now I can take 360 view of our lives and all the memories that we can treasure. But one thing I did notice that the speakers, that HD camera is very unforgiving, isn't it? Right. Okay. So one of the things that I'd like to talk to you about is the enterprise mobility landscape. Developing for consumer, building for enterprise, all of the lines are blurring. It's all about applications. It's all about how you build that solution so that the end user can use it. If we look at this year, the spend that enterprises are spending on devices or machines, the mobile spend will overtake the fixed spend, right? Meaning that no one's buying tower computers anymore. They're buying laptops, and maybe not even laptops, just tablets. I myself like to just travel with a tablet because there's no complexity about launching a VPN or troubleshooting Windows or any of that nature. So, 85% of enterprises are now looking at BYOD. 70% are definitely giving smartphones to their employees. 57% are looking to give tablets. What this all means is that applications are taking over the enterprise space as well as all of the consumer space as well. The lines are blurring. In the enterprise mobility concerns-wise, control and use of mobile devices, information security is on top of every CIO, CTO's mind. Yes, let them use devices, but how do we secure that data? How do we make sure that the end user, number one, uses the applications and all the services that they're providing, but at the second most is, how do we know that that data won't leak out to competitors or to other malicious places? Everybody recognizes one of these. I don't have to, I give speeches all around the world, and a lot of times when I put this up in front of people, they're like, I wonder what that is. But from all of you developers, you obviously know what this is. Last year at the DEF CON convention in Las Vegas, it's a convention for hackers, one of the security companies actually put this up in the middle of the showroom floor, in the conference floor. Over 260 people plugged their devices on this thing for over an hour and left it there. So half the battle that hackers say is getting access to the device. You can imagine what this term came out to be. So when I heard this term, I thought it was an energy drink, but it's actually a way of hacking. It's called juice jacking. While you're getting some juice, you're getting hacked. So they call it, you saw the ATM phishing scams. It's kind of similar. You plug your device into a seemingly friendly, helping, energy-giving lifesaver, yet they're hacking you. Why I bring this up is that security should be very, very easy and transparent to the end user, because the end user are not going to be thinking about this type of threat, nor are they going to think about, how am I going to get hacked? The only thing they think about is, all right, let me not leave my device in the cab, right? Growth in enterprise is exponential. We have over 28% year CAGR growth. Corporate liable is growing. Consumer is sort of falling behind. But I think these numbers are sort of deceiving in the fact that there's more growth in enterprise than consumer. Well, I think it's just that consumers are bringing device to enterprise, and enterprise are starting to count those, right? So I myself carry one device for both consumer and business use. And reasons for providing mobile applications, I don't have to tell you that there's more productivity, more efficiency, employees collaborate better, customers are able to reach their businesses better, new revenue streams are being done. No longer do you have to buy a fleet of taxis and limos to actually do a limo business. You can just create an application like Uber and take over the world in that respect. No longer do you have to build giant hotels to be in the hotel, hospitality industry. You have Airbnb and rent out your spare rooms, right? Samsung in the enterprise, there's, in the globe, Android OS comprises about 80%. May not be sort of, wow, that's kind of a lot here, but when you travel outside of the United States, Android is particularly prevalent. Out of that, 65% are all provided by Samsung. About 1.4 billion smartphones are in use today. This number will grow exponentially. And the way that Samsung, as you've seen in the keynote speech, we're not only doing development on smartphones and tablets, but we're doing in all of our consumer appliances, visual displays. We're also getting into the IoT and the M2M machine modules. So when you look at developing for Samsung, it's not going to be only about just smartphones. It's going to be everything, right? From a 2-inch screen to the giant 110-inch UHD that I wish I had in my living room. One of the things that I do a lot is travel. And I looked at my travel approvals, and I looked in the system and saw how many hours I kind of estimated I flew this year. It came out to about 900 hours. It's about 37.5 days in the air. One thing that I don't really question when I walk into an airplane is whether that airplane is safe or not. I know it's safe. I believe it's safe. I have to believe it's safe because it's been certified by FAA, certifications, various entities, all the maintenance checks and balances. When you look at a smartphone, the end user should just launch that app and use it as they need to use it. They should not worry about where the security comes from, right? This sort of relates to our badges of certification, right? So the US government has certified our device to be used in unclassified and classified areas. We received a common criteria, which covers many of the nations out there, the UK government and Finland government. And we're pursuing many, many other government certifications all around the world. What this means for all of you is that you have the opportunity to put your applications in our KNOX container and actually be on a device that's certified. So you don't have to take the pain of getting certifications unless you have such a classified application that I or you or no one should know about, right? So we're making it easy. We're doing all the hard work. We're getting the hardware certified. We're getting the platform certified. So when you develop on our platform, you become part of that certification, right? So KNOX actually is our enterprise mobility platform. We are creating a foundation of trust and secure devices where applications will be used and not be thought of as a security threat, meaning that end users would just use it. We want a device out there that companies and end users don't have to worry about whether the device is secure or what I need to do in order to secure it. Do I need an antivirus application? Do I need to launch a security? Just use a device and just and have the security underlying it. Currently, we have about 144 million devices, which just means that every device now that's created, we have the KNOX framework built into the device. That's all of the 4-inch screen all the way to the 12.2-inch screens. We have over 2.2 million users on KNOX platform today with the container activated. There are over 205 global resellers who are selling the KNOX licenses out there today. Over 30 different models in 230 different countries. Accessibility of our devices creates a homogeneous platform for all of you to develop on. Global companies see this as an absolute necessity in order to create a low IT support environment that can use an application the same way over and over in every parts of the world. One of the most visible part about KNOX is the workspace, the container itself. The separation between the two makes it possible for employees to bring their own device to work. On the personal side, you can do whatever you want to do depending upon MDM policy, but you can actually isolate that MDM policy only to the container side, giving access of your employer to just this little part of your device, so that when the employer hits remote device wipe, it doesn't erase the entire device, it just gets rid of the container. The separation is complete. On one side to the other side, you cannot copy paste, nor you can, all accessibility on the business side is blocked, such as the SD card, I/O ports, the USB. Everything that has to do with access to that container is controlled granularly by the employer. And we have the SDK that allows you to develop applications to leverage all that, all the attributes and the features of the container. The Android stack, this is the normal Android stack diagram. You have the hardware, the bootloader, the kernel, the framework, and the application layer where you install the applications. The modifications that we made on the KNOX side is tying the hardware to the software. And this is very key. Traditionally, hardware manufacturers build great devices. Software manufacturers made great software. One vulnerability led to the vulnerability of the other, no matter how secure that solution is. With KNOX, we've created a bridge to make that vulnerability disappear, meaning that a hardware attack, a system-level attack, will invoke an action to secure the software that's in the container. One of our heart and soul of KNOX is the root detection. When you root a KNOX device, you'll actually trip an eFuse, which will actually disallow any access to the trust zone where we keep all of our encryption keys. And that allows rooting of the device, but no keys to decrypt any of the data that's in the container side. All of our secure boot, trusted boot, and TEMA is a system of controls and checks and balances to make sure that the device boots up the right OS, right binary, and make sure in real time that the Linux kernel is not modified in any way. I don't have to tell you about the SE Android. It's not your generic Android, but a very heavily modified, policy-driven OS. The KNOX framework, we created the KNOX framework to have many APIs so that the APIs can be granularly controlled. The SDK that you can develop on could granularly control every aspect of our device. The KNOX container, data separation. So the whole juice hacking applies here. The people that you're developing for or writing applications for, they may not be aware of the threats out there. But once they connect to such a threat as juice hacking, it would trip the root detection and secure the data that's inside the container. That's the first level of defense that we have, which is a key differentiator of all Samsung KNOX devices out there today. We have 3 flavors of SDK. The KNOX standard SDK. In the US, you might be familiar, we used to call this the safe SDK. These are the first attempt at Samsung devices into the enterprise. We've allowed VPN access, device-level API access, as well as other remote control, other features out there. KNOX Premium SDK now controls the container, the FIPS level VPN, identity management, certifications, many different things, features that are necessary to meet the security requirements today. The KNOX Customization SDK is the most exciting SDK, I think. It allows every one of you to create a purpose-built device. What I mean by that is leveraging the KNOX Customization SDK allows you to create a custom binary that would be signed by Samsung and be installed onto a device. So I'll get to that in a minute here. So the KNOX Customization SDK comes in 2 flavors. An SDK that can You can do it yourself, or we can gather your requirements and build it for you completely from our Samsung development. Many customers have taken advantage of this so far. The Buffalo Wild Wing is sort of the most, I think, familiar case. When you used to go to bars, they used to give this big clunky machine to do quizzes and compete with people in the restaurant and people in the other locations as well. They came to us and said they wanted a much more modern, scalable solution. So we took a Galaxy 7-inch tablet, created they had their application, we loaded it, we made a custom binary that only did that application. So the application was a game, menu, and some of the upcoming events and calendars and so forth. But what happens when you give a tablet to an ordinary person or a consumer, a customer, a patron? First thing they're going to do is, okay, here's a menu, but where's the menu button? Where's the home button? Let me see if I can get to YouTube or Facebook or something. All of that is blocked. You can do a hard key reset. It'll come right back to that menu item. There's nothing. So this is the power of customization. A lot of airlines are looking at this right now. There's actually 3 airlines in the world today that actually have done this, and they're using the customized binary for their in-flight entertainment, utilizing a tablet to do that. We've just announced our Galaxy Tab Active, our first ruggedized tablet. It's an enterprise-built spec tablet that allows you to replace the battery or have a pogo charger. It's one of those tablets that you can actually use in the warehouse, throw it around, and be actually a barcode scanner. And we can actually create a customization app to lock it so that that device just becomes a barcode scanner. Flexibility and customization is the key in the enterprise. The Samsung Enterprise Alliance Program is created to support all of you developers. In the SEAP, we provide you with technical help, engineering support. We not only provide you with just the technical side, but we want to take your application and market it toward all of our salespeople. Your applications help us sell more devices. And our salespeople around the world, in every subsidiary, in every country out there, in 230 countries, matter of fact, would love to showcase your application, would love to take your solution, look at how it's being used, how it's being applied in the business world, and use that as a success factor to go out and present to other customers and sell more devices. We have resellers that are carriers, that are VARs, distributors, who are hungry to sell new products in this new enterprise mobility market today. So we can take your solution and monetize it for you, and in turn, more solutions sold, more Samsung devices sold. Marketing-wise, with SEAP, we invite you to conferences such as SDC, or even the Mobile World Congress, or CTIA, or many of the vertical regional trade shows at the Samsung booth to showcase your solution. And oftentimes, we also sponsor your shows, where you are at. We'll be with you in your booth as well. And with SEAP, we provide you with loaner devices and all the help you need to develop your solution better on our device. The ecosystem is very important to us. How KNOX container is activated is through our MDM partners. Our MDM partners are the ones that are managing the enterprise customers today. And KNOX was built to be a complementary security feature in an existing infrastructure. So working with partners is key, important to us, because partners actually activate our solution. So how does KNOX get evolved? It's all from the voice of the customer and developers like yourself. You tell us what we're missing, and we incorporate that into our Next SDK, our next framework, or modify even our hardware when necessary. Customers tell us. Customers are becoming very, very smart these days. Before, customers used to buy giant MEEPs or middlewares to create applications. Now they're actually taking our SDK and building applications themselves and giving us feedback on what they require in order to build their B2B2C application better. Or as our Chief Innovation Enterprise Officer would say, E2C, right? So among our partners, our very important partners, I would just like to highlight two partners today, Trustzone and SOTI. There are many, many, but today I'd like to just speak about two of them. Trustzone is a partner that we use their technology in our Trustzone, on our ARM processor. The Trustzone itself is one of our key components in securing our KNOX container. But one of the things that we can also do is in the Trustzone, we can create a container for applications that you develop, meaning that you can put your keys there, or you can put your encryption algorithm, or we can create an area that you can leverage or install applications that we can do secure voice, secure storage. In certain verticals like financial, where we have Sarbanes-Oxley, where you have to have secure voice and secure SMS, this is a key component of an application that you all develop. The next is SOTI. I'd like to invite Kelly from SOTI to come up and give us a brief overview, not from only a Samsung's perspective, but from our partners' perspective on how they use our SDK, as well as some of the real-life stories of customers.
Great. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hope you guys had a great time at the keynote. That was wonderful. As I'm known to most of the KNOX team, I'm Kelly from Canada. That's what they call me. I just want to go over with you what Samsung has done for us in our partnership, and talk to you a little bit about not only KNOX specifically, but their extraordinary partnership and how they help us. So first of all, just to let you know what SOTI is. SOTI is an EMM or MDM leader, as most people know it as MDM, which is mobile device management. We have been in business since 1995. We've been in developing the technology that solves unique challenges and involves managing, securing, and supporting mobile devices in the enterprise infrastructure. We manage the SMB market, we manage the enterprise market, and we do a lot of it with Samsung devices. We have a global reach. We have approximately 80,000 customers in 170 countries. That's a very widespread ecosystem that we have from a customer perspective. We have millions of devices worldwide. We have several languages that we support as well, so we can get into multiple countries and help support on multiple different languages. We have several awards that we have from leading industry analysts like Forrester, Gartner, and many of the other partners that we have. And we have horizontal solutions, so not only do we look at solutions based on what a mobile device, we take a look at what do you need for healthcare, what do you need for education, what do you need for the government and logistics and field services. So we support all of those. So let me talk to you a little bit about KNOX SDK, KNOX Standard, and KNOX Premium. So KNOX Standard, as Jay had alluded to, is the old safe APIs that we had. In the US, you saw them. They had over 500 IT policies that they had, and there's over 1,100 API calls that they had. SOTI was the first one to bring all of the safe APIs into the enterprise. They have, at that time, I think there was about 300, so they've grown significantly since then. So KNOX Standard basically takes a look at app management, content management, network, and security features. Whereas KNOX Premium, as Jay had mentioned, is about the workspace container and taking that and separating the personal from the enterprise. So we were the first ones to go to market with Samsung and provide the KNOX the KNOX Workspace solution to the enterprise. So it's a complete enterprise solution for employees and businesses. It works when in BYOD so that we can take a look at managing just the container, or it works for corporately owned devices as well. So if the enterprise would like to manage their corporately owned devices. So some of the key features and the policies that are in the KNOX Workspace, these are the technical things that I'm actually going to have one of the developers talk to you more about if you're interested in deep diving into any of these. There's per app VPN. Also in VPN, there's support both the IPsec and SSL VPN. Single sign-on, as Jay had alluded to earlier. Fingerprint authentication, so SOTI does support fingerprint authentication on the Galaxy S5 devices. Capabilities to disable the camera. So, for example, if you have an enterprise that is in R&D and they want to have an enterprise container and they don't want people to take any of the information by taking pictures of any of the research that they're doing, they won't be able to because inside that container the camera is disabled. They can't share it either outside. So those are some of the security policies that KNOX brings. Application blacklisting and whitelisting. So your apps that you're developing, what SOTI can do is to help to get those to the enterprise. We can help drive those, so not only with our partnership with Samsung where they can put them and get them inside the container, we're the ones that can help to push those out to make sure that the enterprise gets to use your great apps. Microsoft Exchange, ActiveSync for email, contacts, calendars, all of that is stuff that SOTI can help with. So from a case study perspective, KNOX Premium SDK, I actually can't name these because I didn't get permission beforehand, so I just wanted to show you that here are some of the things that we've done in the last few months with KNOX, with tremendous support from the KNOX team and from the Samsung team. We released government customer that has recently purchased 1,000 KNOX licenses that they have put onto their enterprise fleet. There's a U.S. healthcare that just recently purchased 500 licenses as well. And there's a government down under, I won't say which country, and they're currently testing the KNOX customization in the SDK that it's a customized solution that they have. And they're using Samsung's SDK customization as well as SOTI to help drive that. As far as the KNOX standard SDK, we have American Airlines, Citizen Mexico, Peninsula Hotels, East Orange High School, just to name a few. These are things that you can see that these are all different verticals as well. So the solution, it doesn't really matter what vertical you're in. The KNOX standard SDK will work in every single vertical. You can apply those IT policies across the board. Also, on the bottom, I've shown you here is the Samsung SEEP portal. When you go into that SEEP portal, you can see that there are several case studies from the various partners that Samsung has, and SOTI has, I think there's 8 or 9 in there that we have now that you can go to and see what the actual issue was that the customer was having and how Samsung and SOTI collaborated together in order to help solve the customer's issues. It's also actually, the American Airlines one is actually in your case study in the booklet that you received in the bag. There's a success case booklet. And if you have any more questions that are specific from a development perspective that you'd like to understand how SOTI and Samsung work together on a more technical level, we're just outside here at booth 301, right outside this door, and we'd be happy to have you come and talk to our development team.
All right, thank you, Kelly.
Thanks.
Thank you. Again, thank you for attending our session. To know more about Samsung KNOX, please go to samsungknox.com. And all of the information that are provided here today and more, technical, obviously, will be there as well as white papers and SDK access. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please come up and I will answer them. Thank you.